Over the past few years, political humorists, political cartoonists have come under attack in our obsessively politically correct society. And it's not only cost their reputation in many instances, but it's cost them their jobs, and some of them it's ruined their careers. Recently, Grant Woolward, who is a biology student at the University of Virginia and also the political cartoonist for the Cavalier Daily, drew a cartoon and it was printed in the paper. His drawing, which was in caption, Ethiopian Food Fight, had 9 darkened figures with large heads with loincloths fighting over a stool, a tree branch, and a few other things. This cartoon, when it was printed in the paper, caused an immediate outrage in the local community. Students became upset with it, faculty members. 200 students actually gathered outside the office of the student newspaper to protest this cartoon, claiming it was racist. The point is, this is not the first cartoon that has caused a bit of an uproar by this young cartoonist. In September 2006, Woolward actually drew a cartoon entitled Nativity Obscene, in which the Virgin Mary is depicted with a rash and telling Joseph it was immaculately transmitted. He didn't lose his job over this one. For the cartoon depicting the Ethiopians, Woolward apologized profusely. In fact, he says, "You don't get it. This is my job as a satirist. I was actually saying that the African American nations and the nation of Africa has a tremendous food plight. These are poor people. We need to be concerned about them." It was actually trying to raise awareness. However, his apology wasn't enough, his explanation wasn't enough. He was forced to resign from the Cavalier Daily by the people in charge. There's no doubt that this type of humor is crude and sometimes lacks judgment. But the point is that the job of a political cartoonist is to poke fun, it's to raise awareness, it's to stir people up, it's to foment debate. That's what he's supposed to do. Why have a political cartoonist if they're going to print things that no one wants to read or cares about, or it doesn't stir debate? The sad thing here is the reactions to this by our politically correct society really represents what I'm starting to call our totalitarian democracy. In our totalitarian democracy, it's the people that have become more of a censorship society than even government censorship. In a free society, supposedly people are tolerant. We become very intolerant if we don't agree with something. If there's a single slip, a single word that someone doesn't agree with, a cartoon that someone doesn't agree with, we completely censor it now. We do away with it. Such censorship was the focus of Ray Bradbury's classic novel, Fahrenheit 451, in which a futuristic state, along with its people, actually burned books they didn't agree with. In an afterword to a later edition, this is what Bradbury wrote. He said, "Fire Captain Beatty in my novel Fahrenheit 451 described how the books were burned first by minorities, each ripping a page or a paragraph from this book until the day came when the books were empty and the mines shut and libraries closed forever. Today, we simply replace actual book burning with intellectual book burning." Clearly, this type of mentality, this censorship mentality by certain segments of our society, certain people and certain individuals, strikes at the very heart and core of our First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of expression and free speech. It totally goes against the idea of any kind of censorship, especially in positions where people are supposed to provoke debate. The lessons to be learned here is that if we deny free speech, we deny a free society. As U.S. Justice Potter Stewart once noted, censorship reflects society's lack of confidence in itself. It is a hallmark of an authoritarian regime. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't wake up, we're moving into an authoritarian regime with our politically correct, obsessed society. It's a time to be more tolerant and let free speech flow.